I always wanted to become a mom. From when I was very little, I knew that I was going to become a mother. Work, I didn't know what I was going to do for work. I didn't know what I would be in a career, but I knew one thing was for sure, that I wanted to become a mother. I remember trying to get pregnant with my first child, and every month you wait for that pregnancy test and nothing really happens, and I wasn't getting pregnant. I was getting really bummed. And then someone told me I should visualize being a mother, visualize being pregnant, visualize carrying a baby. And so I did. I remember being at a stoplight in Huntington Beach at the steering wheel, just visualizing that with my mind. The next month, I found out on February 14th on Valentine's Day that I was pregnant with my first child. With each child was even more special. My first girl, all I ever wanted was a baby, and then having a girl is 10 times more of a bonus. You know, as an adopted child, when you grow into a family where you don't have a biological mother that looks like you, there's that yearning to have a child of your own, to have the identity, the physical representation. I knew that regardless I wanted to be a mom, and if I adopted and I could never have children, I would be okay with that too. But when I had my son and then a little girl who came out not looking like me at all, by the way. She kind of looks like me now, but that was really special. And the third one was just icing on the cake. It was just the bonus. It was amazing because we were actually told that our third child may have Down syndrome. And so when you get the call from the doctor that something could be wrong with your baby, you just go in this crazy fear. And at the end of the day, I knew that I wanted to have children and be a mother in however shape and form that God chose to give me these children. Fast forward now, I have 3 children that I couldn't even conceive of who they were in my mind. You know, you grow up and you want to be a mother, you want to have children, but you can't really conceive of who they're going to be or what you're going to get. I had no idea what my children would look like, who they would be, what they've become. Here we are in 2014, and they're 9, 11, and 13, and they're better than anything I could have possibly imagined or dreamt of myself. I had no idea that I would have 3 artists. I can't even draw a stick figure. And I remember around 4 years of age trying to put Evan in all the great Mommy and Me classes. We tried soccer, basketball, we tried everything and nothing was really working. And then we just put him in an art class, not even thinking anything of it. And fast forward, he's an amazing artist. And I get so many emails and messages from parents saying, how do you have such creative children? How do you give them the drive to do what they do? And I don't take any responsibility of anything they do. It is a God-given talent. But one thing I do tell parents all the time is to watch your children. What are they doing when you're not looking? What are they spending their time doing? For Evan, it was doodling. He would doodle morning, noon, and night. He would ask to paint at 4 years old. We'd go to Michael's and he would go straight to the art section. And what put him in his zone, what made him happy, was him just doodling. And for all of my kids, it happened in that same way. I would look at them when they had a quiet time and they would just be drawing, and they would just want to make things, and their desire to create something with their hands was greater than anything I've ever seen. And it happens around 3 and 4, whether they're dancers or gymnasts or artists, or they like to be outside. If you just watch who they are and watch what they're doing when no one's looking, you can see right into their future. And then all you have to do is just support them and foster them. And they'll just let it grow naturally, and it'll just grow. Something will happen. I think though, a few things I've learned over the years of being a mother is that being a mom requires you to give, to care for these children. I think if you ask any mom, they'll do anything for their children, myself included. And what happens along the way is you forget to kind of ask about things that you want. So quite a few years ago, I started asking mothers for my Mother's Day gift, and it was a photo of myself and my children. And I've always taken photos. I've always taken photos of myself and the kids. Obviously, I'm a photographer, but visual history is extremely important to me. So there were times when Evan was 8 and he took a photo of the girls and I, which is one of my favorite photos. And when each of my children were born, my husband took photos of them laying on my chest in the hospital. So I have some great photos of my children and I. But as they started getting older and I could ask what I wanted for Mother's Day, I decided I would make it a tradition that if we could just do one thing on Mother's Day, and that would be to take an hour as a family and take photos. Not just the family photos, but photos with myself and the children and my husband and the children. We could always do family photos anytime. And it's kind of changed over the years of how we've done it and where we've done it, the studio, location. This year for Mother's Day, we're doing a self-portrait with the kids and I also asked for a drawing because I was gifted with 3 amazing artists that I don't take credit for because they were born with an ability that I couldn't have even imagined. And so my idea this year was to just give me a personal drawing from them that I could remember them by, and they could remember that this drawing they made was for me. And then of course photos. And you know, women tell me all the time they don't take photos of themselves for many reasons. Our hair, our weight, there's never enough time. You're always taking photos of the kids themselves, no one to take photos. And honestly, I don't think there's an excuse. I think it's something we have to do. I think it's something that all the things that we have to do as a mom, take care of our children, you know, feed them, dress them, enrich them into hopefully amazing human beings, yet the one that'll be the most important would be photos, don't you think? I mean, I love my adopted family, they're my family, and without my mother raising me, I definitely wouldn't be here today speaking to you here in southern windy California. But I also know that years down the road, I want my children to know who I am. I'm not just a mother. I'm a woman, I'm a girl, I'm a photographer, I'm an individual, and I want them to remember me, remember our times together, and I want them to have visual history. Because I think that to know where you're going, it's important to know where you came from. And you ask anybody what's the most important thing to them, and it's not the gifts, it's not the clothing, it's not the trips. It's usually those keepsakes, the letters, the poems, the notes, the photos, all of that, right? It's why we're here on this planet. And if you can't get it during the year, you might as well ask for it during Mother's Day. Why not? It's a good time. It's a good time. But even if it's not Mother's Day and you're watching this and it's in the middle of the summer, get the camera, get the iPhone, snuggle up with your kids, take a photo, write them notes. Just do little things, because I think as mothers, it's up to us to preserve our legacy, right? No one's like knocking on my door asking to preserve it for me. So why not just do it ourselves? Why not just start a revolution in our own lives and just say, let's capture who we are now, and let's show our children how much we love them by taking care of ourselves and capturing images that include ourselves in it.